Let's get ready for another exam-style practice test. CompTIA A Core 12201101 Practice Test 2026 Questions and Answers. Pause when needed, answer honestly, and use each explanation to improve. Here we go.
Question number 1. Let's begin. Do not rush this one. A technician is tasked with installing additional RAM in a desktop computer. Which of the following types of RAM is most likely to be used? Here are the choices. A is SODIMM, B is DDR3, C is ECC, D is VRAM. Choose your answer now.
Let's reveal the answer. The correct answer is B, DDR3. Excellent work if you picked that one. Let's break it down. DDR3 is standard desktop DIMM memory. SODIMM is used for laptops. Now you know why that option is best.
Moving to question number 2. Pay attention to the wording. Watch the wording here. Vertical streaks are appearing on the output of a laser printer. Which of the following items is the most likely cause? Here are your choices. For A, roller. For B, drum. For C, transfer belt. For D, ribbon. Lock in your answer.
Let's see if you got it right. The correct answer is B, drum. If that was not your answer, use the explanation as a learning point. For the exam, remember this. Vertical lines on a laser printer usually point to a scratched or damaged photoconductor drum.
Let's continue with question number 3. Look carefully at what the question is asking. Watch the wording here. A user is trying to play a DVD on a projector. The user can hear the audio, however, the projector is showing an error message that states HDMI blocked due to copy protection. Which of the following is the most likely cause of the error? Here are the choices. For A, the HDMI cannot carry the signal from the DVD to the projector. For B, the user needs to switch from HDMI to a cable standard such as DisplayPort. For C, the projector does not support the necessary HDCP protocol. For D, the user needs to enable Kony protected sources in the projector settings. Choose your answer now.
Time to check your answer. The correct answer is C. The projector does not support the necessary HDCP protocol. Excellent work if you picked that one. This answer is correct because HDCP, High Bandwidth Digital Content Protection, is the protocol required to transmit copy-protected media like DVDs over digital interfaces. Keep that in mind for the exam.
Let's see how you do on this one. Read carefully. If 2 answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. While implementing a non-carrier grade wireless backhaul, a technician notices the current channel selection is extremely polluted with various RF signals. Upon performing a spectral analysis, the technician discovers a channel containing almost no RF pollution. Unfortunately, the technician is unable to select that channel. Which of the following is the most likely reason for this issue? Pick the best choice from these options. Option A. The channel is reserved for licensed band use. Option B. The channel selection is defective. Contact the manufacturer. Option C. The channel must be unlocked by the vendor. Option D. The device requires a firmware update to unlock the channel. Ready for the answer?
Let's see if you got it right. The correct answer is A. The channel is reserved for licensed band use. If that was not your answer, use the explanation as a learning point. This is the key point. Regulated or licensed bands are locked down at the software/hardware level based on regional compliance regulations.
Moving to question number 5. Pay attention to the wording. A user submitted a support ticket that states all of the printouts from a laser printer appear to have double images imposed on them. A review of past printer support tickets shows that a maintenance kit has not been installed in more than a year. Which of the following printer consumables is most likely causing the issue? Now compare the choices. A is separation pad, B is transfer roller, C is ink cartridge, D is fuser. Make your selection before I reveal it.
Here is the correct answer. The correct answer is D, fuser. This is why practice matters. For the exam, remember this. Double images or ghosting in a laser printer occurs when the fuser assembly fails to heat up sufficiently to permanently melt the toner. Now you know why that option is best.
Next up, question number 6. Think like you are in the real exam. If 2 answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. A technician is configuring a workstation to be used as a VM host. After installing the necessary software, the technician is unable to create any VMS. Which of the following actions should be performed? Pick the best choice from these options. Option A, disable the BIOS password. Option B, enable TPM. Option C, enable multithreading. Option D, enable fast startup. Ready for the answer?
Let's reveal it. The correct answer is C, enable multithreading. This is why practice matters. Let's break it down. Virtualization hosts must have hardware-assisted virtualization, such as Intel VTX or AMD V, enabled in the firmware/BIOS.
Let's see how you do on this one. Read carefully. A user's computer is not receiving a network connection. The technician confirms that the connection seems to be down and looks for the user's port on the patch panel. The port and patch panel are not labeled. Which of the following network tools should the technician use to identify the port? Your answer choices are: A is network tap, B is punch down tool, C is toner probe, D is crimper. Think carefully before the reveal.
Okay, let's check it. The correct answer is C, toner probe. Excellent work if you picked that one. This answer is correct because a toner probe paired with a tone generator helps trace unlabeled copper lines back to their corresponding port on a patch panel.
Let's see how you do on this one. Read carefully. If 2 answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. A user, who is attempting to give a presentation via a projector in a conference room, reports that the projector has video but no audio. Which of the following will most likely resolve the issue? Your answer choices are: Option A, changing the input on the projector to VGA. Option B, changing the output on the PC to DVI. Option C, modifying the projector's refresh rate. Option D, utilizing an HDMI connection. Think carefully before the reveal.
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is D, utilizing an HDMI connection. If you chose that, you are correct. This is the key point. HDMI cables carry both high-definition digital video and multi-channel audio signals over a single cable connection. That is why this answer is correct.
Here is question number 9. Focus on the keywords. If 2 answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. A customer reports that a computer is never able to reach more than a 100 Mbps transfer data rate, even when using a gigabit LAN card. While troubleshooting, the technician notices the network cable needs to be replaced. Which of the following cable categories is limiting the transfer speed? Pick the best choice from these options. Option A, Cat5. Option B, Cat5e. Option C, Cat6. Option D, Cat 6A. Ready for the answer?
Let's see if you got it right. The correct answer is A, Cat 5. Great job if you selected that. The main idea is this. Category 5 cable is rated for a maximum speed of 100 Mbps. Gigabit speeds require at least Cat 5e or higher. That is the key takeaway.
Moving to question number 10. Pay attention to the wording. While using a popular video conferencing program, the user selects a webcam, but the software is unable to open the webcam. The webcam was working the previous day. Which of the following should be done to address this issue? Pick the best choice from these options. A says close other video software and retry. B says adjust the conference software to a compatible resolution. C says switch the video from the webcam to conference mode. D says reseat or replace the webcam. Ready for the answer?
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is A, close other video software and retry. If you chose that, you are correct. The main idea is this. Webcams can typically only be bound to a single application process at a time in modern operating systems. That is the key takeaway.
Question number 11. Listen closely. A user failed to gain access to a building's entrance after security measures at the entrance were upgraded last week. The company implemented the 13.56 MHz frequency shortband, and users can now utilize their mobile devices to authenticate. Which of the following has to be enabled for the mobile device to authenticate? Listen carefully to each choice. A is Bluetooth, B is biometrics, C is NFC, D is PIN. Take a moment to think.
Let's reveal the answer. The correct answer is C, NFC. Great job if you selected that. This answer is correct because NFC, Near Field Communication, operates on the 13.56 MHz frequency for short-range wireless data exchanges like badges. Keep that in mind for the exam.
Here comes another one. Choose the best answer, not just an answer that sounds familiar. Which of the following standards supports MIMO technology? Your answer choices are A is 802.11a, B is 802.11b, C is 802.11g, D is 802.11n. Think carefully before the reveal.
Okay, let's check it. The correct answer is D, 802.11n. Great job if you selected that. For the exam, remember this. 802.11n was the first mainstream Wi-Fi standard to introduce MIMO, multiple input multiple output, spatial multiplexing.
Now let's try question number 13. Do not rush this one. A technician powers on a PC and its monitor and sees the following error message: no input signal detected. The display lights on the computer are on. Which of the following is a possible solution? Choose from the following options. A is changing the BIOS settings, B is changing the connector setting on the monitor, C is checking the power plug on the monitor, D is checking the power plug on the PC. Try to answer before the reveal.
Here is the correct answer. The correct answer is B, changing the connector setting on the monitor. That was the best choice. This is the key point. A no input signal message means the display has power but needs its source toggle adjusted to match the active physical cable port. Now you know why that option is best.
Here is question number 14. Focus on the keywords. Which of the following components enables the input on a mobile device's touchscreen? Pick the best choice from these options. A is OLED, B is digitizer, C is inverter, D is CMOS sensor. Ready for the answer?
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is B, digitizer. If you chose that, you are correct. This is the key point. The digitizer is the clear physical layer over the display panel that converts physical touch taps into digital coordinate inputs. That is the key takeaway.
Here comes another one. Choose the best answer, not just an answer that sounds familiar. A technician unboxed a new computer, plugged it into a UPS, and connected the requested peripherals. The computer lights and fans turn on, but the technician hears 3 loud, consecutive beeps during boot. Which of the following actions will remediate the issue? Choose from the following options. A says replacing the power supply, B says replacing the UPS, C says changing the CMOS battery, D says resetting the RAM. Try to answer before the reveal.
Okay, let's check it. The correct answer is D, resetting the RAM. Great job if you selected that. For the exam, remember this. 3 loud consecutive beeps during post typically point to a critical memory detection failure, requiring modules to be resetted.
Let's continue with question number 16. Look carefully at what the question is asking. An IT manager discovered that hundreds of pages of printed materials are being recycled each day because the materials are left on the printer tray instead of being picked up by users. Which of the following would best prevent this waste? Here are your choices. A says send friendly reminders to not print unnecessarily. B says enable duplex printing to reduce paper utilization. C says bill each department for the excess material cost. D says require a code or badge before releasing a print job. Lock in your answer.
Time to check your answer. The correct answer is D, require a code or badge before releasing a print job. Great job if you selected that. This answer is correct because badging or secure print release queues hold print jobs until authentication occurs at the physical asset tray. Good. Let's continue.
Let's see how you do on this one. Read carefully. If 2 answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. An online retailer wants to save money and is considering migrating to the public cloud so capacity can be added during the peak shopping season and automatically removed when the peak is over. Which of the following best describes this aspect of cloud computing? Here are the choices. Option A, rapid elasticity. Option B, metered utilization. Option C, shared resources. Option D, high availability. Choose your answer now.
Time to check your answer. The correct answer is A, rapid elasticity. Excellent work if you picked that one. This answer is correct because rapid elasticity gives cloud environments the ability to seamlessly scale resource allocations outward or inward based on real-time loads. That is why this answer is correct.
Here comes another one. Choose the best answer, not just an answer that sounds familiar. A technician is receiving reports that the entire office sporadically loses network connectivity throughout the day. The technician determines the root cause to be ME. Which of the following cable mediums would be the most cost-effective without sacrificing system performance? Now listen to the answer choices. A is coaxial, B is shielded Cat6, C is plenum Cat5e, D is multimode fiber. What would you choose?
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is B, shielded Cat 6. If you missed it, do not worry. The explanation will help. This is the key point. Shielded twisted pair, STP, cabling blocks external electromagnetic interference, EMI, using an internal metallic foil layer.
Moving to question number 19. Pay attention to the wording. An organization maintains various record types, including health and criminal justice records. Which of the following cloud environments is the organization most likely to use to limit the attack surface? Here are your choices. A is public, B is hybrid, C is community, D is private. Lock in your answer.
Let's reveal it. The correct answer is D, private. If you chose that, you are correct. Here is what you need to remember. Private cloud environments offer localized, dedicated infrastructure isolation for tightly regulated data handling.
Let's continue with question number 20. Look carefully at what the question is asking. If two answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. Which of the following describes metered utilization of cloud resources? Your answer choices are: Option A, resources provisioned instantly. Option B, payments made only for resources that are used. Option C, resources pooled to increase computing power. Option D, implementation of rapid elasticity. Think carefully before the reveal.
Let's see if you got it right. The correct answer is B, payments made only for resources that are used. Excellent work if you picked that one. The main idea is this. Metered usage tracks specific computational footprints, like hourly runtime or bandwidth storage gigabytes, and charges per unit used. That is the key takeaway.
Here comes another one. Choose the best answer, not just an answer that sounds familiar. Watch the wording here. A user on a SOHO network is unable to watch online videos, even at 240 pixels. The technician runs IP protocol configuration from the user's computer and records the following connection-specific DNS suffix: LAN link local IP version 6 address, FA80 1585:7 FB2B05F 7102% 12 IPv4 address, 192.168.1.131 subnet mask, 255.255.255.0 default gateway, 192.168.1.1. The technician then connects a test laptop to the router via the user's Cat5 cable and records the following information: download 85 Mbps, upload 22 Mbps, ping 28 milliseconds. Which of the following is most likely causing the user's issue? Here are your choices. For A, incorrect IP address. For B, faulty NIC. For C, misconfigured default gateway. For D, bad network cable. Lock in your answer.
Let's reveal the answer. The correct answer is B, faulty NIC. If that was not your answer, use the explanation as a learning point. The main idea is this. If a test laptop gets full line speeds over the exact same cable drops, the issue lies in the client machine's network interface card.
Here is question number 22. Focus on the keywords. Watch the wording here. A colleague has a laptop that has been working as expected for several years, but the laptop now has a small bulge in the bottom casing and overheats occasionally while plugged into a wall outlet. The most likely component that needs to be replaced is the. Now compare the choices. For A, power adapter. For B, battery. For C, system fan. For D, hard drive. Make your selection before I reveal it.
Let's reveal it. The correct answer is B, battery. If you chose that, you are correct. Let's break it down. Physical swelling or bulging in lithium-ion laptop batteries is caused by gas buildup from degradation, presenting a severe thermal hazard. That is the key takeaway.
Moving to question number 23. Pay attention to the wording. A company just bought a printer capable of automatically printing on both sides of the paper. After installation, however, the technician can only print on both sides of the paper manually. Which of the following should the technician do to fix the issue? Pick the best choice from these options. A is install the most recent firmware upgrade available for the printer. B is contact the vendor for a hardware replacement. C is reinstall the printer software and drivers, and then restart the printer. D is read the installation manual and configure duplex settings. Ready for the answer?
Let's see if you got it right. The correct answer is D. Read the installation manual and configure duplex settings. Excellent work if you picked that one. This is the key point. Automatic duplex capabilities must be toggled on within the printer's local operating properties window in the OS Device Manager. Now you know why that option is best.
Next up, question number 24. Think like you are in the real exam. A small office has a wireless network with several access points for roaming laptop use. Users occasionally report that the wireless connection drops or becomes very slow. Users have confirmed that this issue only happens when connected to the office wireless network. Which of the following would most likely be the cause? Your answer choices are: Choice A, hidden SSID; Choice B, device interference; Choice C, Ethernet port flapping; Choice D, high ISP latency. Think carefully before the reveal.
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is B, device interference. That was the best choice. Let's understand the logic. Nearby electronic devices or dense metallic structural components operating on overlapping channels create severe localized RF interference. Now you know why that option is best.
Here comes another one. Choose the best answer, not just an answer that sounds familiar. If two answers seem correct, look for the most complete one. Which of the following cloud models maintains access, even when a local internet outage occurs? Choose from the following options. Option A, private. Option B, SaaS. Option C, community. Option D, public. Try to answer before the reveal.
Now for the correct answer. The correct answer is A, private. That was the best choice. Let's break it down. Private clouds host workloads on local physical servers or dedicated platforms that do not rely on WAN links for foundational connectivity. That is why this answer is correct.